What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome to the channel. If you're watching this video, there is a solid chance that you already know that Dungeon Defenders Awakened is a free weekend game this weekend, meaning you can hop in and play Dungeon Defenders Awakened for free, and if you decide you like the game, it is also on sale. Now, if you've played any of the other Dungeon Defenders games really and enjoyed them, there is a solid chance that you might like Dungeon Defenders Awakened. So by all means, now is a great opportunity to check the game out at no cost. And remember, this is not normally a free-to-play game, so you're getting the entire game right here for free. So this weekend, through the next few days, the game will be on sale and is playable for free right now. Now, with that in mind, I decided to put together a few basic tips and tricks to help players in their adventures into Dungeon Defenders Awakened and to help give you a little better experience. Now, first things first, when you first load into the game, you are going to have a Squire. You're going to be loaded in on a Squire, one of the OG heroes. If you hit H, this will bring up your hero deck. Now, you can have 6 heroes in your deck, and these heroes are all going to earn experience equally. So it's very important to always have your hero deck full. So the very first thing you should do is create heroes. You do this by right-clicking on an empty card and just choosing Create. You can go through and create all of the various heroes quite easily in this fashion, and it is definitely something you're gonna want to do right away. So get your hero deck completely full before you start any adventure whatsoever, and make sure you have all the heroes you're interested in. Now, there is a 6 hero deck, however there is 7 heroes. So for your base experience, you're gonna be best off focusing on 6 of the heroes that are available. Now, what heroes you choose is kind of up to you. However, I can say that if I personally was starting fresh, the deck that I would choose to go with would look something like this. I would have a Rogue, which is a DPS-only hero that is actually quite powerful and one of the best damage-dealing heroes in the game. I would bring an Apprentice, a Huntress, a Monk, an EV, and a Warden. The Warden, of course, is the reimagined Dryad from Dungeon Defenders 2, and the Rogue is a brand new hero. Now, obviously, this is what I would choose. This is not what you should choose. You should choose which 6 heroes look the most exciting for you. If you like the Squire, then by all means, get the Squire in your deck. It is very important, however, to have 6 because these heroes are going to earn experience evenly. So if you join a map and say the map offers 100 experience, if you have 1 hero in the deck, you're going to earn 100 experience. If you have 2 heroes in the deck, you're going to earn 200, and with all 6 heroes in the deck, you're going to earn 600 experience. So without having a full hero deck, you're just missing out on XP, and this gives you an opportunity to play the heroes and level them all up at the same time. Now, during build phase, you can swap through the heroes with your F keys. So F1 is going to get to my Rogue. They're all in order as they are listed in the hero deck. F2, I'm going to be on my Apprentice. F3, my Huntress, and etc. Now, you can only swap heroes during the build phase, so it's always important to make sure you are on the hero that you want to play during the combat phase, because once you enter combat, you are going to be locked into that hero until you enter another build phase. Now, another really important aspect of the game to get set right away is your loot filter. So if you go ahead and escape out and go to Options and click Gameplay, you're going to see Auto Loot Filters. If you go into your Auto Loot Filters, you're going to want to get these set up. What the Auto Loot Filters are is deciding what that's on the ground is going to go automatically into your inventory and what will be automatically sold. This is a loot-based game. There is a ton of loot. So to save yourself a ton of inventory management, you're going to want to set that up. Now, a suggestion that I personally would have for just entering the game is to leave everything on the General tab completely unchecked. The bag image tag, you don't have to worry about at all. If you go to quality, go ahead and select every single quality in the game. When you go to elements, don't select anything, but do select always include fusion. Now this won't matter if you're not going to play on rifted mode, which as a brand new player you probably shouldn't worry about. However, it is important to have all of these elements unselected. Then you're going to want to go to weapons, select everything, go to armor and select everything, and then go to accessories and select everything. It's very important to always include pets and always include accessories. What these are going to do is they're going to override any settings you made on the first or the tabs up above. Now, with that in mind, basically what this means, since we've got all qualities selected, is every item on the ground is going to be automatically looted. When you're playing your first couple of maps, you're not going to have any equipment at all on any of your heroes, so you're going to want to pick up everything. Now, as you play through the game, you're going to get to a point where, say, all of your heroes have just common gray gear. This is not going to take but just a few maps to get to this point. Once you get to that stage, you're going to want to go back into your loot filters and uncheck common. What this will happen now is only uncommon gear or higher will be automatically looted. The common gear will be automatically sold and you'll get the gold. This is going to save you an absolute ton of time in inventory management. And then as you go through your experience, you want to do the exact same thing. Once all your heroes are in a fairly decent green or uncommon set of gear, then go ahead and uncheck that. Then all of the common and uncommon gear will be automatically sold and only rare items or above will be auto-collected. Now taking a very quick look at the game modes. When you first jump into the game, the only thing that's going to be unlocked for you is going to be medium difficulty. The very first map, the Deeper Well, will be available for play. You can, of course, go easy if you choose a much easier experience. However, the default experience is expected to be medium. Now, as you complete maps, it's going to unlock the next map, etc. Now, there's one important thing to note. If you are a veteran of tower defense, you may not want to play on medium. It's an extremely smooth experience playing through the game on hard, and it's what I personally suggest for any veteran of any sort of tower defense game. Now, how you can jump to hard and kind of skip the medium playthrough is play the first map. If you go in and you play that first map on medium, it is going to unlock the Ancient Mines, which is the second map on medium, but it is also going to unlock the Deeper Well on hard. This means you can then switch over to hard mode, start over on Deeper Well again, and it will unlock all the maps in order, and you can just go ahead and complete all of your playthrough on hard without having to go back to medium. You do have a couple of toggles up here. You have hardcore and you have rifted mode. Hardcore is a straight up loot multiplier, so it is going to allow you to have higher quality loot dropping, and it's going to do a couple of other different things. It's going to make it so you can't respawn during combat phase. Additionally, it's going to add in timers, so in between those build phases, you are going to have a timer ticking down where the wave will auto start if you have hardcore enabled. One more thing with hardcore is any mana that's on the ground. The mana crystals you'll find on the ground will disappear in between waves if you have hardcore enabled. Now, when you're first playing through the game, there's really no reason to keep hardcore on. The reason hardcore exists is it is a way for you to get higher quality loot. However, when you're very first starting, if you enable hardcore, you're going to find that you're going to get in a position where you're getting a lot of loot that's much higher level than where you're at, and you're not even able to use it yet. So that's super nice, of course, when you do hit those milestone levels and are able to equip different loot. However, as you're playing through, it can be a little frustrating collecting a lot of loot that you're unable to use. Rifted is a different play mode altogether. Rifted enemies are going to spawn with more strength and increased difficulty. However, it is also going to increase the quality of items that drop, and it's going to be less enemies. Now, Rifted mode I suggest for most new players not to start with as well. Now, you can, of course. However, Rifted mode, and what really makes Rifted mode special, is late game and farming up special sets of armor that you're going to use to enhance your defenses. Of course, when you're first playing through, you don't want to have to grind and redo maps over again. So if you leave Rifted off, you don't really have to worry about that special armor that's only going to drop once per map, and you can play through and collect armor without having to worry to go back and farm. So when playing through, start on medium. If you would like, jump to hard after you do the first map, and I would suggest leaving hardcore and Rifted untoggled. Now, as you level up, you are going to earn Rune Points, where if you go over into the stats screen here, you're going to earn points that you can add in right here to your hero. These are going to be Vitality, Attack, Ability, Fortify, Power, Range, and Rate. The first 3 are referring to your hero. The last 4 is referring to that hero's defenses. You can just click to your spellbook and take a look through the defenses as well, and it will give you a basic description of what each individual defense is going to do, and definitely a tool for new players as you're just popping in. Now, where do you put your points when you're first starting? If it's a builder hero and you are building specifically with that hero, one of the things that super early game is extremely beneficial is range. Your first 20 or even 50 points, if you put into range, it's going to greatly impact your towers. All of these stats are going to have some diminishing returns, and getting a little bit more range right out of the gates is just super, super nice without a doubt. Now, say you're on a hero that you're not necessarily building with and you're mainly DPSing with. You've got Vitality, which is your total hero health. You've got Attack, which is a scaler for your primary defenses. And then you've got Ability, which is a scaler for your abilities. For example, the Mana Bomb here. If I wanted to focus on getting my Mana Bomb all jacked up, then I would want to go into that ability stat as a base modifier early on. Now, I will say that the transition through the game is a much easier if you just focus on that attack stat, as it's going to directly make your normal primary attacks hit much harder, and that's what you're going to be using the majority of the time. And then, of course, everyone is going to know about meta heroes. Who is good early game as you're first joining? And there is a few, no doubt about it. Now, first things first, the Warden. The Warden is a DPS-only hero, and with that in mind, the Warden is going to put out more damage than any other hero available. So if you want to get the pew-pew on, and particularly with boss fights, playing actively on the Warden is just going to give you a lot of power right out of the gates. Additionally, the EV is just an amazing builder. Now, one of the things that is just super strong early game is the Proton Beam. You're going to have this unlocked right away at level 1, and you can actually play through the majority of the campaign just using Proton Beams if you chose to. They are extremely strong, they're easy to build, and they just dish out a lot of power without a whole lot of specialization required. You can build all sorts of designs however you like to set your proton beams up. However, proton beams are extremely strong early game. And then we have the Warden. This is the reimagined Dryad from Dungeon Defenders 2, and the Warden's defenses are extremely powerful throughout the game. Now, starting right off in your very first map, the only thing you're going to have unlocked is the Roots of Purity, This is the tree that the warden would use. Now, as you level through the game, of course, you're going to immediately start unlocking more defenses, and then you're going to have something other than just a blockade. Now, the Roots of Purity, if you're familiar with DD2, this is the tree from DD2. What these do is purify the ground and allows the wardens to place defenses within the perimeter of the Roots of Purity. So, for example, if I wanted to place a defense, I can't place it outside. It requires Roots of Purity, so I do need to place it inside of that perimeter of the roots. Now, the first defense, or the first damaging defense that you're going to unlock for the warden is the Wisp Den. And the Wisp Den is one of those early game metas and just extremely strong. Now, one thing with a loot game, a game that's heavy loot and all about the loot, is you're going to have lots of inventory management. And there's two little quick tricks that are not really shown anywhere in the game. And that is, first off, if you hold down the S key and then left click, that is going to sell items. So you can quickly go through your inventory and sell items you don't want just by holding down shift and then clicking on that item. Now, additionally, say you get some items that you can't necessarily use yet, you don't want to accidentally sell them, and you want to lock those, you can hold down the L key and then click on items, and it will lock or unlock items that you click on while you're holding down L. This little shortcut, keyboard shortcut, is just a huge quality of life thing that if you don't know about, you're going to wish you had, and now you know, so that shouldn't be a problem. So that's just a few tips and tricks to get you started on this free weekend in Dungeon Defenders Awaken. It is an extremely fun game. There's going to be lots of folks playing it this weekend, so if you're looking to meet some new friends or find a group, you should have no problem whatsoever getting into some public matches. Once again, the game will be free for the next couple of days, so check it out, y'all. Don't miss this opportunity, as it may not come very frequently, that is for certain. Now, if you get in for free and you are enjoying the game, you can not only pick it up on sale, but your progress is still going to be there. So if you play all weekend for free, at the end of the weekend you decide you like the game, after you purchase it, you're going to be able to log right on back into your main account and keep going, saving the progress that you had already completed once the game was free. So that will do it for now. If you have any questions about Dungeon Defenders Awaken or how to just make your experience better, make sure to let me know down in the comments below, and I will do my best to get your questions answered. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see ya next time around. Take it easy.